everybody, Cinema Sickness here again to talk to you about what I bought and what I watched today. Today I decided to run to Goodwill again. Really wasn't going out there to look for any titles per se. I mean, sure, I'm always on the hunt, but I really was only going out there because if you guys remember from a couple days ago, I found all those beta tapes. And I just had a feeling that they might have gotten in a beta player. I mean, it just seemed weird that somebody traded in a whole bunch of beta tapes, but without a beta player. Unfortunately, when I went to today, no beta player. So I guess they did get a bunch of beta tapes in and no beta player, unfortunately. But there was a few titles that I actually came across and I wanted to pick up that weren't there a couple days ago, so I grabbed them and here they are. The first I picked up was Wired. This is a title I've been thinking about getting for a while now, but I guess it was a few weeks ago when I did one of my Let's Go Shopping videos. One of my viewers said, you know, you really should have picked up Wired. It's a great movie. It's only on VHS, so I figured, you know what, next time I come across it, I'm definitely going to grab it. So found it today, had to pick this one up. Also watched this one, so in a few minutes I'll talk about that. The next I picked up here was Yogi Bear's All-Star Comedy Christmas Caper. This is awesome. I've been looking for this one for a while now. This is on DVD, however, I haven't really come across a DVD for a good price yet, so I'm holding off, waiting to find the DVD for like $5 or under. Hopefully I'll find it soon, but for now, I'm very happy to have this on VHS. This is a great Christmas special. The next I picked up was It's Christmas Time Again, Charlie Brown. This is cool. I do not have this yet. Have seen it. It's an alright special. It's pretty good. Best thing about this though is, I really like the cover art. It's pretty plain, pretty simple, but something about it I really like. And it's unopened. That is awesome. This actually comes as a bonus short on one of the Christmas Peanuts releases that I do not have. I mean, I have those Peanuts sets, the like 1960s and 1970s set, but I do not have the actual individual releases. I mean, I have a couple of them, but not the one that this comes on, unfortunately. So definitely have to pick up the VHS tape until I eventually get it on DVD. So awesome, had to grab this. Then the next I picked up here was Caddyshack on beta. I must have missed this one last time I was there, so definitely had to grab this. Love Caddyshack. Fantastic movie, and have it on beta is really cool. Then I picked up Christmas with the Simpsons. This is great. I've been thinking about getting this for a while now. I have seen this for $5 here and there throughout the years, and I just keep passing up on it. I don't know why, I just never grabbed it. So today, came across this for $1.97. Definitely had to grab this. This is going to be a great watch this Christmas. The next two titles I picked up were both board games. First one I grabbed here was Seen It Movie 2nd Edition. This here is great. I love the Seen It games. They are so much fun. I have the first movie edition one. It is a blast. The wife and I love playing it, so when I saw the 2nd edition one, had to grab this. And the last title I picked up today was Seen It Pirates of the Caribbean. This is awesome. Again, love the Seen It games. They are a blast to play. Also, I'm a big Pirates of the Caribbean fan. Love those movies. This should be a blast. So that's it for what I bought today. So now it's what I watched. And the first title I checked out was Super 8. This I saw in theaters, and I absolutely loved it. I thought it was a great, great movie. My only problem with this movie is how much hype it got. This movie was hyped to all hell. And although I thought it was a great movie, and I really, really enjoyed it, I just didn't think it quite lived up to the hype. But watching it tonight made me think, maybe it does. And the reason I say this is because this movie was being compared to things like Stand By Me and Goonies. And I was thinking to myself, oh, and even E.T., and I was thinking to myself, you know, I sort of see where people are coming from with that. I mean, maybe it has a little bit of a feel to it. But I grew up with movies like Goonies and Stand By Me and E.T. Those are the movies I grew up with. So watching this, I'm like, well, I guess it sort of has that kind of feel, but not really. But then the more I start thinking about it, like watching it again for a second time, I start thinking, you know, maybe it's because I'm 29. Maybe those movies like Stand By Me and, you know, even things like The Sandlot and stuff like that, maybe movies like that, to me, you know, they have a different feeling. They were from a different time. And even though this movie is trying to, you know, be from that time period, it's trying to look like that time period, it's not. It's a, you know, you can make a movie try to look as much as you possibly can like an older movie, but it's going to have somewhat of a modern feel no matter how hard you try. And you know, I started thinking, well, those movies I grew up with, they have a different feel. They all sort of have that same, you know, feel to them. And that's why I love them. I grew up with those movies. But kids who grew up with this movie might think of this movie the same way I thought of movies like, again, Stand By Me and Goonies and stuff like that. So maybe it's my age that really makes me think, you know, this movie is okay, but it doesn't even compare to those other movies. And I think, yeah, like I said, I think it has to do, again, with my age, possibly. That's what I'm thinking. So I really did enjoy the movie. Again, I wasn't let down, but I just didn't think it quite lived up to the hype. But I see where people are coming from. It does sort of have I mean, sort of like Goonies, sort of like Stand By Me. I mean, just in the fact that it's, the group of kids and they're going through that crazy adventure. I guess I can see where people are coming from. It does sort of have that feel. But, and also E.T., I mean, I don't know. E.T. definitely has a lot different of a feel, gives you a lot different of a feeling and emotion than I thought this movie did. I mean, I think the only reason people are saying E.T. is because they both happen to feature an alien that is like, being sought after by the government, but the kids realize that it's just trying to get home. So, yeah, but it's not like the alien is there interacting with the children throughout the entire film like E.T. or anything like that. You don't quite feel for the alien as much. So, I see where people are coming from, but I don't know. I mean, sort of like E.T. So, all the comparisons this movie got, that's where I had the problem with, where I was just like, kind of, but not really. I mean, those comparisons, I sort of see where people are coming from, but at the same time, it's its own film. I would definitely say the movie definitely feels like a J.J. Abrams and Steven Spielberg movie. It has that J.J. Abrams feel, the aliens and the emotions. It definitely gives you that feel. But at the same time, it definitely sort of has a Steven Spielberg, like a classic Steven Spielberg feel to it, like, again, like E.T. and Goonies and stuff like that. So, I enjoyed the movie. It was definitely a great movie. I'm not knocking it at all. I thought it was fantastic. Only downfalls, I'd say, the music is a little overdone. I thought they were trying to make this movie be like, hey, it's, look what time period we're in, and that bugged me a little bit. They're constantly blasting music from the time period, and, it's they're just throwing that out there. I thought they went a little overboard on the lens glare. There was a ton of lens glare in this movie, which I get what they're doing. Back when the time period of movie they're trying to go with this one, there was always lens glare in the film. Tons of lens glare. It's all you ever saw back in the day. Nowadays you don't see that so much. And they were trying to throw that in there, but it wasn't natural lens glare. It was definitely CGI lens glare. You could totally tell it was CGI, and they just kept throwing it at you. That bugged me a little bit. I didn't think they needed to go that crazy with it, and if they were going to, they maybe should have done a better job with it. Also, the jokes, there were some time period jokes, like when they asked, can you develop this film overnight? And like, oh, nobody could do overnight film. Oh, God, there were some more, too, and I'm like the kid had the Walkman, and they're like, oh, kids walking around with music in their pocket, stuff like that. I was like, geez, like, did you really need to go there? Did you really need to say, like, hey, this movie is supposed to be this period, but it's actually shot in like now. It's just, I was like, why do you need to do that? It's stuff like that ruins a movie like this, because a movie's trying to be from a certain time period, and you're throwing jokes in for modern day audiences, and it's like, well, no, like that kind of, I mean, it takes away from, you getting into the movie and you being in that time period. It brings you back to reality, and it's like, well, you don't want to come back to reality. You want to be stuck in the movie. So that bugged me. They should have done that. But besides that, it was a great story. I really enjoyed it. The kids were great. All the actors were great. If you're into cinema, you're definitely gonna love the fact that the kids are shooting the movie. That was really cool. It was definitely a great watch. I would highly recommend it. Again, I just didn't think it quite lived up to the hype it got. But, maybe that is because, again, I'm 29 years old. I'm sure a kid who grows up with this movie is going to love it just as much as I loved Goonies, just as much as I loved Stand By Me, just as much as I love E.T., and just as much as I love, like, Sandlot and stuff like that. I'm sure the kids are going to absolutely love this movie. So, again, it might be because I'm 29 that I didn't think it lived up to the hype. But that being said, it was still a fantastic movie. I would highly recommend it. Everybody should check this one out. And the last time I watched tonight was Wired. This was a great movie, but very weird and very trippy all at the same time. I really enjoyed it, though. Sort of a weird premises, though. It's about John Belushi dying and then coming back as a ghost to watch his life over again, in the downward spiral of his life and his career because he got hooked on drugs. Also weird, Mike Chiklis. Yeah, that was a little weird, too, to see. I'm watching the movie, I'm like, that guy looks really familiar. Why do I know who that is? So I IMDb'd it quick. I'm like, that is Mike Chiklis playing John Belushi. That was kind of weird as well to see him in this role, but he did a good job with it. He actually pulled off John Belushi pretty well. He got his mannerisms down and everything like that. He did a pretty good job, I gotta say. But a really weird movie. Just the fact that it is John Belushi's ghost watching his life. And, how truthful is the movie? I don't know. I'm not some, John Belushi historian. I don't really know how truthful the actual story is to what actually happened within his life. But it is pretty crazy. There's John Belushi's wife actually at one point hires a detective to find out, what actually killed John Belushi, because she doesn't believe that he died of a heroin overdose, because apparently he was afraid of needles, so he's trying to figure out, what went down there. And again, it's just John Belushi just reliving his life again. They do classic Saturday Night Live skits, and there's tons of like Blues Brothers and stuff like that. So it was definitely a good movie. Just really weird, really trippy. Also, a lot of the scenes were kind of weird too. I don't know if they were making it try to seem like you were on drugs while watching this movie, but it definitely had that feeling of like being on drugs while watching the movie. That's how it kind of came off. And I could see if they were trying to do that because John Belushi the whole time in the movie is just stoned the hell on drugs. So maybe that's what they're trying to go for. I'm not sure, but either way, it was a good movie. If you're into John Belushi, you love his movies, you're interested in his career, it's definitely a watch. Not really a comedy at all. It's a pretty serious movie. There are some maybe little chuckle moments, but for the most part, it's a just completely serious film. And it's it's kind of sad too to watch the downward spiral of John Belushi. He starts off doing not so bad drugs, and then towards the end he's pretty much completely hooked on, he's definitely doing a lot of cocaine and tons of other drugs too, and eventually heroin. So it's pretty messed up to see what he goes through. So I would definitely recommend checking this one out. It's a great movie. Definitely a bit of a downer, but still, Wired was fantastic. So that's it for what I bought when I watched today. Got a ton of great titles, and also watching Super 8 and Wired. They were both fantastic. I would definitely recommend them. As far as tomorrow goes, Thanksgiving, I'm really not sure I'm going to have a video. I'm going to try to. I'm pretty sure I'll have something, maybe. I'm going to try to run out to Kmart. They're having a Thanksgiving Day sale. Looking at the ad, there wasn't really anything in that I was necessarily interested in, but who knows, maybe I'll find something. And as far as watching something goes, I really like to watch at least one Thanksgiving Day title, even if it's just like a 30-minute like Thanksgiving Day TV special. Just something. I want to get something in there. So the plan is definitely to watch something and maybe even buy some stuff. So I should possibly have a video for you tomorrow. That is the plan. But I do have a lot going on, so if I don't, I do apologize, but I will definitely try to have something. So that's it. I hope you all have a great Thanksgiving. Hope you eat a lot of great food and watch a lot of great, Thanksgiving Day related cinema. So that's it. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned to see what I bought and what I watch tomorrow. See ya.